Hey, greetings everyone. I'll just turn this off. Hey, okay, so I just got this print right off the printer, so we're hitting the ground running today. So yesterday I got a bunch of these little, let me get one out, these little bitty, oh man, I turned off the wrong thing. Turn off the USB drive I needed to have on. Hope it doesn't screw things up. So anyways, yesterday I got a bunch of these little PCB boards with LED contact chips on there, and so basically it's a USB light, and there's no on-off or anything like that. You just plug it right in. So you just plug it right in, and so the nice thing about it is it's small, it's flat, there's no plastic covering or anything like that. It's just a raw board. So I went ahead yesterday and I made a container, a little holder for it, and it's a custom fit. Fits really tight, and it is in gray. And I've been testing it on the back of a console. So I've been testing this all night long, and this morning, just to see how hot it gets. I have tape underneath holding it on there. The tape doesn't want to stick to the console very well. So while this thing here was taped, see, the idea was that it was going to be glued, and but I kind of changed that to I kind of changed the design a little bit to have a little cover. So the idea is that the consoles, such as this one, is very similar to the VSS consoles. They all have a little thing on the bottom that helps to add additional items. Like you'll see these oval holes and things like that. They're basically ports for attaching additional props. So there, on this one, there's specific ports for adding additional things underneath, such as a cover, whatever. It was done originally for customizers, so that a customizer can expand the DioWarriors consoles by whatever they need. If they add a light to it, they can put a cover, they can put other things, attachment points to it. So with that said, the consoles do have a little opening on the bottom, so that way a light source can be placed there and allow the thing to light up. So yesterday, with the LED stuff that came, I went ahead and decided to see if I could make this thing illuminate, and I did. So all night the thing's been on, just testing and see how hot it gets or how warm. And it doesn't really get very hot. Just gets a little bit warm. This this prop has a little opening for the LED lights. So with that done, I made a little attachment points. The idea, I have to work on this. The idea is for the lights to fit into a little pocket, a little container, a little area. So the idea was that this was originally going to be glued, but I'm kind of backing away from the gluing part on the USB jacket or whatever it's called right now. Instead, what I'm working on, and I've got this one's out of the printer. It's got attachment points for attaching something like this, basically a tray holder, essentially, for it, a little tray. So I'm going to try to do my prototypes without any glue, so that way I can play around with it, take it apart, expand it, and but the finished product is going to have the thing gluable, so that way it's a little bit more durable for people. These are little support structures. These little things at the bottom. So I printed flat, and just trying to keep everything as good and smooth. So that's the progress with it. So far I'm getting the I'm putting the little expansions, making them workable for these LED things. Now, when I posted this, I got a suggestion from someone out there, from Jose Sola, actually. And it's a good suggestion. It's for a type of hacker keyboard. And so I started to put that together. In fact, you can probably see it. Let me see if I share it. Share screen. Window. This is very basic. Here's an older keyboard model I have been adjusting, make it thin, make it but not too thin, so that way it can go into this tray. Let's see if I go full screen on this. Yeah, but let me get this part here done before I switch over to SolidWorks, and I'll show you what I was doing there. Just getting these things off. You know, the thing about these PLA plastics and stuff like that, you know, they are, it is a soft plastic. They do tend to bend. At least this formulation of it. Other brands of this plastic, the PLA is really unforgiving. Some formulations of PLA will actually shatter, kind of like glass, when dropped. In fact, that has happened to me once. Well, the support stuff didn't quite break nice and easy. Not with this knife anyway. I need to get maybe an X-Acto knife over here. Let's see. Yeah, let's do something like this. Make a little bit of a mess. Oh yeah, this is a sharp knife. There's a brand new blade on it. I try to be careful. Don't want to slice my fingers. Yeah. And yeah, I'll get right to that keyboard in just a bit. Just want to show you guys how this is going to fit into the console with this new stuff. Blade wants to get undone. Get back in there. I need another kind of blade. I'm gonna use this kind of blade. Kind of push it through. Ooh, okay. So all this is part of the part of considering the prototypes, because if I got to do this for hundreds of parts, it's going to take forever. And I definitely don't want customers having to cut things. They should be able to just do minimal adjustments, like painting, maybe sanding here and there. But I want customers to have convenience of just opening up the product and being able to apply it. Maybe a little bit of painting, but not a whole lot of need to adjust. This formulation of PLA is not quite your standard PLA. It's a little bit softer, so it's easier to sand, especially if you use one of those diamond coated files. Then sanding something like PLA gets really easy to do. You start seeing results with just a little bit of filing. So let's see if this is enough. Okay, so here's the little board part. It's gotta fit like that. Okay, so it's going to fit like this. And then the little cover needs to, how about that? It's a nice little snap. I was not expecting that. And if somebody wants, they can always glue the cover part in, because, USB wires, they get, how you call it, they twist in the ways you don't want it to twist, any kind of wire. So this part, let me explain this also, a few little bit of some adjustments that I made yesterday. Let me get my knife as a pointer. So this goes back to the USB. These are the I don't want to call them greebles, but these are the attachment points that goes into the bottom of the console. Okay, so it fits in like a Lego brick in that way, that sense. Got these little pegs here for future stuff. I may have to adjust this later, but what I want to do is have some expansion for additional acrylics to fit in. But I just realized I have it in the wrong direction, so I'll have to eliminate these pieces here and then do another print when I'm ready to test this with this other acrylic. The idea is that I'm trying to find a way to have the keyboards lighted. So I'm wondering if it's possible to have a little bit of acrylic fitting into here to take some of the light and kind of bleed it into the keyboard area. Now this is an older prototype console, so the keyboard section is solid. The newer ones, this one's out of a printer, doesn't have that. So I got this one out. I'm going to use this one for myself for testing, and I'm going to see how it's going to work out with the lights. So I have, of course, this is in gray. I have some black ones being printed right now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, look at that. Well, I may have to. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. Nice tight fit. Snap, snap, snap. Okay. So now I put this on. Plugs. Plugs right in. And the little hole, this little oval down here, future expansion. For example, maybe one day, put a computer prop underneath, things like that. So this is an interesting experiment here. Now I'm going to leave this one on all day and come back to it later and see. So let's put it right in front of my computer keyboard. Now with this one, I don't use these long keyboards anymore on this model. So I'll have to see about having the acrylic. How would I do it though? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's really not needed. Or perhaps I will just have to wait until I find a different kind of USB connection, or maybe a longer one that sticks out. I don't know. So this is what I'm looking at. Maybe I need to redesign. See, I want to keep it from having to be redesigned, because what I want to do is I want people to be able to purchase this one and then just simply attach. So those who already have this, if they want to light up their consoles, all they need to do is just get the attachment. So I don't want to do it where you have to buy another console. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to find ways to keep the lighted, the strategy for it down to simply just getting an expansion. But I think the smart thing is that as I go forward and I start making more of these, I should probably start incrementing some changes to the design. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, this is how it is. I'll do some testing, and I also have to see about the full size VSS consoles too. But I want to get this stuff down first before I do that. Okay, let me get this stuff out the way. A lot of junk. Okay, so the next thing to talk about very briefly is this keyboard. This is a handheld keyboard. So I'm doing it as a tray. I'm using, I just had it. Well, here it is. I'm using the Marauder figures as the standard rather than the G.I. Joe ones. So I got this one here. He does have a little bit of a pivot, doing this on his right hand, pivoting this way. But it's not too great. I don't know if just because it's mine or it's the sleeves or what. He just has a little bit of movement. Maybe it's enough. Yeah, maybe it's enough. Maybe like that. See, what I'm thinking of is having this guy hold on to the tray. Maybe the tray could have some sort of handheld type attachment. Maybe running the entire length of the tray. So that way he can hold it here, hold it somewhere along, anywhere there. So the idea is that it's being held, let's say here at the end, and with the other hand he could do some typing. You can't really see it too well with my thumb in the way. But you get the idea, something like that. Perhaps I can include more than one way to hold the keyboard. But I figure, you're going to hold the keyboard like holding a guitar or holding an artist palette. You're going to have it basically cradle on your forearm. Can't really do that with the figure unless I make something like a C-clip that kind of attaches to the arm. And that might be something to do also. And other aspects would be to have connection points on the ends, at least on one end, maybe this end, where cables, the idea of cables could come down and flow around the figure, perhaps to a wearable computer down on his belt or to his backpack or something like that. So what I did here was, let me switch to it. So what I did here so far was take an old tray and alter it. That's why there's a bunch of red errors on this side. And took an existing keyboard and decided to alter that. And made it a little bit thicker, adding a mouse tray pad, mouse track type thing, mouse tracker. And additional keyboards can be made with different style of keys. More specific use. I saw a nice picture that had the keyboard like a big flat screen, so I was thinking, well, maybe do something like that too. Let's see. So, give it an idea. Go new, assembly. Okay. I notice whenever I do a stream, the software gets a little slow. Right now it's extremely slow. And let me just insert the keyboard so you get an idea of how it's coming along. View, hide all types. I'm just going to select and here also 0.25. And so basically I really just started this like right before the stream. Okay. And one more here, 0.25, and bottom. Okay, so I was thinking something along this line. This part to see here, I still have to sculpted out some, but I was thinking, some sort of display thing, something on the keyboard giving additional information like an LCD screen. Sometimes you see that on some gamers keyboards where you can program the keys and have macro keys, things like that, hotkeys. So sometimes it'll display information like that. Sometimes it'll be other kinds of information. Well, in this case, it could be other information: battery, temperature, CPU cycles, overclocking information, things like that. Things that a hacker might find fun. Something kind of on the cyberpunk side. I may do it where it's a separate piece that attaches over the keyboard, over this. That might be something. If I think this is going to be too small for me to do much information with, so I may just get rid of this and then do another piece that gets printed on top. Well, gets printed and attached on top of the keyboard. That might be the smarter way to do. The tray is going to have, like I said, the connection points for cabling. Under the tray, I'm going to see about attaching another piece that will have the handle or the grips or whatever, the location where the figure will be able to grab the keyboard. So all this is basically just a little bit more than 1 millimeter thick, is 1.5, which is quite thin, quite small. Let's see, a figure's finger for Marauders it's about that. It's about 1.5. So let me switch the screen. So this little trigger finger is about 1.5. So that's basically the thickness right there as well. So that's it for now. Really, that's the update. Working on this, working on the LCD screen. In fact, I got this one in black. It looks to be a very clean print. So I wonder if I can just snap this into place. Yeah, it's a very tight fit. Being black, I can't see if it's, yeah. Yeah, I believe, yeah, it's all the way in. Yeah, make sure that the back is on here. So, it's coming out okay, looking better. I did another adjustment also yesterday. I increased the length of this too, made it longer. Just a little bit. And there are some teeth on the bottom to kind of grip it into place or lock it into place. And I think it's working. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, folks, that's it. So let's see this one light up. Bought some male female USB extension cables. I think I'll connect it to a USB over there. So I have a feeling I'm going to need to get myself what you call it, an acrylic bending machine. See, if you ever see acrylics that are, bent, they have a nice little, bend to them. It's done with a machine that has like a halogen light. Gets extremely hot, but it's only hot at a certain point, on the acrylic, and so that part becomes soft, and you can bend the acrylic. So I'm thinking of getting that. Okay, it works. So next step is to get the black parts done for this one, and then I can see about sanding this a little bit, put it into the machine, make it nice and glossy, and then I'll put it together and see how it looks. So I kind of wish that the keyboards could be done a bit better. Maybe I could find some longer LED ones that I can light up 2 locations. Don't know. I think I'm going to need to start making alterations with the consoles. So I'll try to keep compatibility the same, and then moving forward, have additional connection points for additional expansions. Okay, folks. I'll chat with y'all later. Thank you for watching the video. If this was informative, please like and subscribe, and help this channel grow. It does need your help. Okay, catch y'all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.